What's up everyone, I'm IAnthonyD and welcome back to the channel. It's good to see your beautiful faces. Today's video is a little bit of an interesting one. We're going to be breaking down a brand new upcoming game that is currently in development that may interest you if you are a fan of Friday the 13th the game. This project has been growing in popularity, so you may have heard this before, but we're going to be covering Summer Camp. The plan is to break this down to see what exactly we're dealing with and what we can expect for Summer Camp. A brand new horror asymmetrical that may look a little bit familiar. Summer Camp, a fun 80s themed multiplayer slasher game that you can play with people from all around the world. Coming this year, in this asymmetrical multiplayer horror experience, one player takes on the role of the Slaughterer, a terrifying killer with inhuman abilities. The remaining players, up to 7 counselors, must work together or betray each other to survive and escape from the campsite. To do so, the counselors need to explore the map, find and collect key items, and repair escape vehicles such as a car or a boat. The Slaughterer is always hunting. Track and trap and execute them one by one. Now, if that might sound a little bit familiar to you, that's because it's pretty much Friday the 13th the game. And this project is not hiding that fact. It actually describes itself as a successor to Friday the 13th the game. These are some fans of F13 that have come together and they're like, all right, we're gonna make our own F13 since F13 shut down. This team has made it very clear that Summer Camp is not a modded F13 or even anything related to Gun Interactive, Ilphonic, or any of the F13 rights holders. This is a completely separate independent project by fans for fans. Welcome to Bloody Summer Camp. We're developing this game with a deep love for what has inspired its creation, a spiritual successor to Friday the 13th. On their Steam page, you can even see some of the key items here, showing some very familiar items like a pocket knife, a flare gun, a walkie-talkie, a battery, and even what I believe is firecrackers. Now, the game, like I said earlier, is in active development, and everything they've showed here seems extremely early on in that process. They do say the release date is 2025, so that's, you know, that's a short timeline, but we do have an announcement trailer coming June 13th, which ideally I believe is going to kick off their Kickstarter campaign so they can raise funds to continue developing this game. There is going to be some rewards for that. They do go into a little bit of information here on their Steam page where it says support the project on Kickstarter and receive limited edition gifts like a pool party pack. The game is currently on Steam, and they say on their Kickstarter that they do want to bring this to consoles, which I know is not an easy task for indie developers, so it depends completely on how much support they're able to get to make that jump. You are able to wish list this on Steam, and you are able to follow this on Kickstarter. They do have some screenshots of what the game is looking like. You can see this inhuman killer known as the Slaughterer rocking some sort of fire axe, as well as one of the counselors next to a boat on a dock attempting to make her escape. Clearly what they're going for here is very F13 the game. I mean, even in the visuals itself. Now you may be asking, Anthony, can you just make a Friday the 13th knockoff and take all those core aspects and just remove the license of Jason and Friday the 13th from it? And I'm so happy you asked, because I don't actually know. I don't know if you can do that. I'd imagine that the core gameplay to Friday the 13th in itself is not unique enough that this would cause a problem, but it is possible. Now, personally, I do think Gun is probably in the position where they're not really worried about something like this. They're probably focusing on their next game and their other projects. But when it comes to like lawsuits and that kind of stuff, it is very tricky. And I'm not going to pretend like I know exactly how that stuff works. I will say though, I absolutely dig this kind of stuff. I'm a huge supporter of fans taking matters into their own hands. It's why I like watching fan films so much. If you don't give us what we want, fine. We care so much about these franchises that we're gonna do it ourselves. And that's how I kind of see this kind of thing. To be honest with you, I don't know how legit this project is. I don't know much about this team. The team behind this that is developing and publishing this is Mirror Interactive. And all I could find is that most of the team is based out of London. This seems to be their very first project. It just honestly seems like some fans of F13 the game came together to make their own version of it for the fans. And legal stuff aside, I absolutely did that. I hope that this work turns out. I hope it's as amazing as it can be. I think Friday the 13th the game clearly has some magic in it. It clearly has something very special in it. So much so that people are doing things like this. So much so that the community is making their own mods to keep the game alive and fresh. I mean, they're making their own JSONs, making their own maps to a game that lost content so many years ago. I think if you put any other asymmetrical in the same place that Friday the 13th was, it does not stay around as nearly as long. It does not get as much support as F13 has. And that's because it has something special. So if this game can capture that, if this team can capture that, I'm all for it. But as always, I want to know what you guys think down below. Are you guys interested in summer camp? Do you want to see more on this? Do you want me to react to the announcement trailer or cover what's going on in the Kickstarter? If so, let me know down below. Slash the like button if you enjoyed the video. Consider joining Slasher Gang for as low as $1 per month to directly support the channel. Subscribe with notifications set to all. Until then, remember the rules to survive. Don't do drugs, don't have sex, and oh yeah, don't die.
Everybody dies. Everybody dies. These days, there are certain rules. Everybody dies. Everybody dies. You gotta have a sequel. You can never have sex. Everybody dies. Everybody dies. These days, you never drink or do drugs. Everybody dies.